Did you know that about 3/4 of the world's population is lactose intolerant? That's a lot of people missing out on some tasty espresso beverages, or so you would think. Since 1975, milk consumption has dropped approximately 30%, while the availability and variety of healthy and tasty alternatives has skyrocketed. There are pros and cons to each different type of alternative milk, but in general, they all offer something to be sought after, as they are derived from some of the healthiest and most protein-rich plant foods. But which is going to give you the most authentic and creamy cappuccino? As I mentioned in our video discussing milk, milk contains some of the most unique proteins of any food product. So it may come as no surprise to you that alternative milks do not react to steaming the same way that cow's milk does. It can be frustrating at best to try to get a really nice frothy drink with these milk imposters, and there's really no perfect alternative. The options vary in flavor and protein content, and even soy milk, the most comparable to cow's milk, will not froth quite the same way. Professional baristas have access to alternative milks that have been tailored to their needs, so it probably isn't your fault that you can't match your local cafe's almond milk foam texture. But today we're going to compare the available options and discuss what will most likely work best. The most popular options include soy, almond, rice, and coconut milk, and these are the differences. I will forever maintain that soy is the best alternative for cow's milk when it comes to making the best quality cappuccino or latte. It has close to the same protein content as 2% milk, and therefore is the easiest to froth. And that froth will last much longer than the other options that we're discussing. It's also a great source of potassium, which is a mineral that most Americans need more of. On the downside, a Harvard study in 2008 indicated that too much soy can cause fertility issues. A classic case of everything in moderation. Coconut milk is great when it comes to texture and mouthfeel, but for an arguably negative reason. It's packed with lauric acid, a saturated fat that's attributed to an increase in HDL, a good type of cholesterol. However, like I said before, all good things must be enjoyed in moderation. The American Heart Association still suggests that you strictly limit your daily saturated fat intake. While this milk pairs well with coffee from a texture perspective, it is still low in protein, making frothing less than ideal. So you won't have an easy time getting a silky microfoam, but overall, the general mouthfeel of this milk, to me, puts it second only to soy. Almond milk, oddly enough, lacks the protein that the whole nut offers, again making it a little bit more difficult to froth. And whatever foam does materialize breaks down somewhat quickly due to the lack of stabilizing material. This milk is also thinner in texture, so you won't end up with that creaminess that cow's milk offers. It is, however, low in cholesterol and a good source of vitamins A and D, which makes it a health-conscious choice. Rice milk is the most hypoallergenic option, making it safe for almost any consumer, but the texture of this milk can be odd. While at first glance it looks to have a decent amount of body, the mouthfeel is almost powdery. It has the lowest protein content of the 4 milks that we're discussing, making it the most difficult to froth. Bubbles in rice milk tend to be very airy and dry and will likely dissipate long before you're able to enjoy your entire beverage. This milk is also high in carbohydrates and therefore high calorie. While there are many great uses for rice milk, I would rate this the least ideal to pair with espresso. So, do you prefer any of these milk alternatives over the others? Let me know in the comments below. Cheers! See you next week.